The bustling Terminal 5 hummed with the usual chaos of evening departures. Maya Chen, a dignified 72-year-old woman with silver hair and gentle eyes, approached Gate 18 with her first-class boarding pass clutched firmly in her weathered hands. She had been looking forward to this flight to visit her grandchildren in Seattle. "Ma'am, I need to see your ticket again," barked Officer Reynolds, a burly security guard who had been watching her with suspicious eyes since she entered the gate area. Maya smiled politely and handed over her boarding pass. "Here you go, young man." Reynolds examined the ticket with exaggerated scrutiny, his brow furrowed in manufactured confusion. "This doesn't look right to me. Are you sure this is your seat?" "Of course it's mine," Maya replied, her voice remaining calm despite the growing attention from nearby passengers. "My son purchased it for me just yesterday." "We're going to need to verify this," Reynolds announced loudly, causing heads to turn throughout the gate area. 2 additional security officers appeared as if on cue. 20 minutes later, Maya sat in a cold airport security office, her hands trembling as she dialed her son's number. The humiliation burned in her chest like fire. "David, it's Mom," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Mom? What's wrong? Aren't you supposed to be in the air by now?" David Chen's concerned voice crackled through the phone. They pulled me off the plane, son. Said my ticket was fake. Made me walk past everyone like I was some kind of criminal." The silence on the other end stretched for what felt like eternity. When David finally spoke, his voice was ice cold with barely contained fury. "They did what to you?" The security guard said I didn't belong in first class. Said someone like me couldn't afford that seat. Everyone was staring, David. Everyone was filming with their phones. David's breathing grew heavy. "Mom, stay exactly where you are. Don't sign anything. Don't say anything else. I'm making some calls right now." Within an hour, David's crisis management team at Chen Industries was assembled in the boardroom. His assistant, Lisa Park, pulled up security footage on the massive screen while his legal team worked their phones relentlessly. "Boss, you need to see this," Lisa said, her voice tight with anger. The footage showed Maya being approached aggressively. Despite her calm demeanor and valid documentation, David's jaw clenched as he watched his mother's dignity stripped away in real time. "What else do we have?" His head of security, Marcus Johnson, slid a thick folder across the table. "We found 17 similar incidents in the past 6 months. All involving elderly passengers of color. All in first class. All handled by the same security team. The airline's been covering it up," added Sarah Williams, his chief legal counsel. "Internal memos show they've been settling quietly to avoid publicity." David stood up slowly, his eyes never leaving the screen showing his mother's humiliation. "Get me SkyWest Airlines CEO on the phone. Now." The room fell silent as everyone recognized that look. Someone was about to pay dearly. The next morning, David strode into SkyWest Airlines corporate headquarters like a man on a mission. CEO Richard Blake and his executive team sat around their polished mahogany table, wearing practiced smiles that fooled no one. "Mr. Chen, we sincerely apologize for the misunderstanding," Blake began, his voice dripping with false sincerity. "Sometimes our security team can be overzealous in their duties." "Misunderstanding?" David's voice cut through the room like a blade. "Your people humiliated my 72-year-old mother because they couldn't believe a black woman belonged in first class." Blake's smile faltered. "Now, let's not make this about race." "Don't you dare," David interrupted, slamming the discrimination report on the table. 17 incidents. 17 elderly passengers of color. Same security team. Same excuses. The executives shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Blake cleared his throat. "We're prepared to offer compensation and ensure this never happens again." David leaned forward, his eyes blazing. You have 72 hours to fire every person involved and implement real change, or face the consequences. Blake leaned back in his chair with a condescending chuckle. Mr. Chen, I understand you're upset, but threats won't solve anything here. We run a business, not a charity. David pulled out his phone and made a quick call. Lisa, execute Protocol 7 immediately. He hung up and fixed his gaze on Blake. You just lost your biggest contract. What are you talking about? Blake's confidence began to waver. Chen Industries holds the $5 billion logistics and supply chain contract that keeps your airline operational. Flight catering, ground services, maintenance supplies, fuel procurement. David's voice remained eerily calm. As of right now, that contract is terminated. The color drained from Blake's face. His CFO frantically whispered numbers in his ear, confirming their worst nightmare. You can't do this. We have legal agreements. Blake stammered, sweat beading on his forehead. Read the discrimination clause, Section 12. Any act of systematic prejudice voids our partnership immediately. David stood to leave. Your stock price should start falling in about 10 minutes when the news breaks. The room erupted in panicked voices as David walked out without looking back. Within hours, news outlets across the country picked up the story. CEO pulls $5 billion after mother's airport humiliation dominated headlines everywhere. Social media exploded with support for Maya and calls to boycott SkyWest Airlines. The airline's stock plummeted 30% in a single day. Facing financial ruin, Blake called David desperately. Please, we'll do anything. Complete policy overhaul, sensitivity training, new leadership. 2 weeks later, Maya walked through the same terminal with her head held high. The entire SkyWest staff greeted her with genuine respect and warm smiles. Officer Reynolds had been terminated, along with his supervisors. As Maya settled into her first-class seat, the flight attendant personally ensured her comfort. Fellow passengers recognized her and offered words of encouragement. You showed them real power, whispered the woman beside her. Maya smiled softly. Sometimes you have to stand up to bullies, no matter how big they think they are. My son just happened to have the right tools for the job. The plane lifted off into the sunset, carrying Maya toward justice served and dignity restored.